Yeah, hello again, it's Scott here. I've got a short video for you on how to change the differential oil in your late model Mercedes. It's a very, very simple project and a very inexpensive project. The amount of oil it takes is only a little over a litre, so you're probably talking about $25 to do your differential oil change. I'm also showing you how to use a simple air lift to lift the oil into your differential. So hopefully you'll find this very helpful. So thanks for watching. So here's the differential, and that is the drain plug there. It requires a 14mm hex key, and the filler plug is on the other side. Filler plug is on the left hand side up the top, just there. See if I can give you a better view. So a very simple job to drain the oil out, and I'm going to show you how to use an airlift to pump the new oil back in. I'm going to take the filler plug out first with my long 14mm hex bit. So I don't need to show it to you, it's on the top left hand side, I pointed it out before. Extra long hex key here touches the exhaust system, so I can't get the ratchet onto it, but just remember what you can always do is make your own little hex key. I just did it then. That's a just a 14mm bolt and a nut, and I welded the nut on the end, so I'll be able to use that as a hex key. Okay, so here's my improvised homemade 14mm hex key. So that will fit into there quite nicely, and I'll just use a 14mm socket on the nut. Well, and then there you go. There's only about a little bit over a litre of oil in there, so we'll let that drain for a while. I took the car for a drive to warm it up. So for those of you that watched the video where I installed the Quaife limited slip differential, what I did is I put a couple of magnets on the drain plug there just to see what would get picked up. So there is actually, you know, some very fine, that'd be, it's like a paste, very, very fine ferrous particles on there. So that's good. I mean, that's keeping it out of suspension. So all I've done there is I've just stuck two, I'll clean it off, two high temperature neodymium magnets onto the filler plug. So it has actually worked. It's collected, you know, this sort of sludge, and there's a few little particles in there, probably just run in metal. So that's a good simple cheap modification. You can pick up these neodymium high temperature magnets off eBay very cheaply. They handle about 150 degrees centigrade. So just cleaning the stuff off, so there's very little debris on there. And I've done 1,000 kilometres, just over 1,000 kilometres since I installed the Quaife LSD. So it tells me my installation is okay. This is called an airlift, and this is how I pump fluid into my differential or into my transmission. It always makes me laugh when I read the Mercedes WIS and they talk about, you know, all these special pumps and God knows what else. It's just a nonsense. I mean, you can make a simple airlift using the container that the oil came in. You drill a hole in the cap, just slightly smaller than the outside diameter of your plastic tube, and then you drill another hole next to it, just a small one about 3mm, where you can put your air compressor trigger gun, and then you can pressurise this container and push the fluid in. So here's a closer view for you of how I do it, and it works very well, very simple. Obviously you need to have a compressor, but if you're serious about doing this sort of work on your car, you want to get yourself a compressor. They're very cheap these days, less than $200 for a direct drive, 2.5 horsepower, 40 litre tank compressor, and that's fine for a home user. So I'll show you how this works. So you can see I've put the end of the plastic tube into the filler hole, and I just have a piece of wire wrapped around the tube and hook it up somewhere to keep it in place. I mean, what you can do if you like is make a U-shaped metal tube that you stick into the end of the plastic tube and basically just hang it in the hole. But this works just as well. So all you do is you just start pumping the oil in until it starts dribbling out of the hole. Now this is completely drained now, so I'm going to put the drain plug back in. Still got my magnets on there. Okay, that's torqued to 50 Newton meters. Okay, I'm going to show you how this airlift works. So I've got this connected up to my compressor, and I've got the regulator set at about between 5 and 10 psi. So I'll stick this on the small 3mm hole, and I've also marked on the side of the container here roughly the amount that should go in, because it takes just over a litre. So you can see the fluid getting pumped in. Right, there you can see the excess running out of the top. So, last thing to do is to put the filler plug back in. The same torque setting for the filler plug, 50 Newton meters. That's how simple it is to do your differential oil. I mean, I can't see any reason why you wouldn't do it every few years. Frequent oil changes are the best thing for any sort of mechanical component. And seeing as it only takes about 1.1, 1.2 litres, you're talking a little over, I don't know, maybe $25 to do it. It's hardly going to break the bank. So that's the end of this video. Just showed you how to change the oil, very simple. And I can tell you this Quaife differential conversion is just the bee's knees, as we say. Fantastic bit of equipment, well worth the trouble and the effort. I really enjoy driving the car now. It just drives so much differently and has so much more traction. It's quite amazing. So thanks for watching. Hopefully that was helpful.